Today is lighting basics, and after today's class, you are all able to, should be able to help us set up lights for our upcoming shoots. We'll talk about some of our upcoming shoots when we have time, but let's just start going through some of the basics. First thing, this here, anyone who's new to the class, tell me what we call this.
Cord.
Cord, okay. What kind of a cord? Okay.
Get out of
So,
here!
I did construction a couple days ago, and I said to my friend, "Hey Eric, grab a couple extension cords for me." Yeah, it makes sense, right? I go down to Home Depot and buy them. On a film set, we do not call this an extension cord.
Why not, Grant?
Okay, some of the things that we have will have terms that we will explain. This one, I don't know.
It's one of those things though where it's an industry term, they called it something else, and it's a way that you can prove that you have some film knowledge. If you know the proper film set term for an extension cable or extension cord like this. If you say extension cord your first day on the set, everyone's gonna be like, noob, or it's gonna be like, that guy doesn't know anything. But if you call it a stinger.
Stinger. That's what we call the extension cords on a film set. They're stingers.
I've always thought like, when you get electrocuted, you get stung. So I don't know if that's it, but that's in my head canon. So.
Okay, the other thing that I wanted to mention right away is that this is something that you need to know how to use. It's called a C-stand. We'll be using them a lot for a variety of different things this semester. As you notice, they have 3 different levels for the legs. They rotate together so that you can lay them, stack them on the floor or against a wall. We open them up so that they lock together and we put them down. Now, if we take these up really high so that they are at full height, and then we put a lot of weight on that, say a light or a flag or something, and then the wind comes by, it does not take much to blow them over. So for safety reasons, we will always have something to help hold them down. This should be an easy one. Someone tell me what this is called. Sandbag, yes, it's a bag full of sand. Now, which leg do you think we should put the sandbag on?
That one? No. Which one, Jared?
The tallest leg.
The tallest leg.
Yeah, now a lot of people their instinct, hey, the lowest leg, but it's not actually the case. It's the tallest leg. If we put it on the lowest leg, I'm just going to show you, there's still a lot of movement because this is actually kind of a bag that's shallow. A lot of the bags, do you mind grabbing one of our new bags? Yes. They're around back near the door. They actually bridge over the leg, and there is a lot of movement, thank you. So if you see this, I mean, it's not doing much good at all. So we put it on the longest leg, so the sandbag actually hangs.
Longest and tallest is the top one.
Yeah. Did I say? Yeah.
You said longest. It's longest also.
Yeah, the tallest leg. Now it's solid because all of the weight of the sandbag is pushing down on it. The other thing that we want to do is when we use the arm or extend something, we want the sandbag and the tallest leg to be in the direction of the arm. So if we're going to extend an arm out, and now there's a lot of weight, the longer leg gives it more support, but if it is not going in that direction, if it's going a different direction, now this weight can make it tip over. So we want the Goble arm to be in the direction of the long leg. Little things like that can make a huge difference. If this has a light on it, and the light's on, it's powered, and it's up there, and someone barely bumps it because the leg is not right, sandbag's not on the wrong one, this light falls over and probably breaks the light.
Probably breaks light, could absolutely hurt someone as
Yeah.
well. Just think that our actors are standing under these lights a lot of the time, or near these lights. So not only do we need to practice proper safety protocols with all our equipment, we have to be mindful, and like when we're standing on set and there's a lot of us, we should be watching too, because sometimes accidents do happen, and the last thing we want is for someone to get hurt. Grant, a C-stand right here. This is one of the only pieces of equipment that has ever injured the student here in the Gap, right?
Yeah.
Other than when you dumped the one kid out of the car.
What?
I didn't dump him, he tripped and fell out of my truck.
That was probably the worst, but we had a student, just 2 years ago,
2 semesters.
2 semesters ago, get a concussion from one of these.
Yeah.
And all it was, I think the leg bumped
No,
it.
I think,
Picking up a sandbag.
I think it fell. I mean, I think she or someone loosened it and it fell.
How was it, Jason?
Picking up the sandbag, and then the sandbag was still tucked all over top of it,
so
and
that-
it whipped.
So yeah, picking up the sandbag and it just, this thing can punch you in the face, so be careful.
I almost walked into that thing and poked my eye out multiple times.
Yeah.
And quite often they're at this height, so you gotta be aware, especially when it gets dark on set. Don't just kind of
Yeah,
quickly walk through a set.
Especially dark set, not a good time to be on your phone, okay? Paying attention to your surroundings, then you can be on your phone.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take off the Goble arm just so that we can start talking about lights. The first light we're gonna talk about is a incandescent RE light. I think these are not quite a 1K, these are 650, but they're still quite bright. And
1K 650, what's that mean, Grant?
it's the amount of power that comes through and the amount of light that they produce.
The more power, the bigger the bulb, the more powerful you're gonna get. So if it's a 1K, you're gonna see how bright this light is just at 650.
Okay, just close your eyes for a
You're
second.
pointing it,
I know.
wait. But we'll burn out the sensor. We should do sideways at least, yeah, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
coming at you.
Phil, that.
I could have moved. I was gonna move the camera.
You made
So
me nervous for a
close-
second.
I was
close
ready
your
to move.
eyes.
Okay, yeah, everybody over here. Wait, what do you say before you turn on the light? On the-
Striking.
Striking, that means, what does that mean? That means don't look in this direction.
Okay, striking. And you can see just how intense the light is. And it can be a spot or we can flood it so that it makes it
So,
broader.
yeah, this is like the aperture of the camera, you're opening or closing the amount of light that's shooting out of it. Yeah. What do we notice about this light though? It's bright, we see John, but what else are we seeing in this shot of, okay, we're just blinding everybody. But like, look at, here, let's shoot it on Jared though. What do we notice about this type of light on Jared?
Very warm, beautiful.
It's warm, yeah, warm coloring. The light, this type of light is more tungsten colored, less daylight, more.
Tim, what does tungsten mean?
Tungsten is one of the names of the color temperatures of lighting. Lights have different color temperatures. So have you ever taken your phone or your camera and seen where the camera looks really orange or it looks really blue? It's because the white balance is balanced to the wrong type of light. If you go outside, everything tends to look really blue. If you come inside, things can look orange. It's just the color temperature of the lights, because even the value of the lights and the bulbs have a different color spectrum. So tungsten is 56, right? Or is
Yep.
that daylight? Yeah, 56K.
No, 56 is daylight.
Yeah, okay.
32 is.
32 is tungsten.
Yes.
And we measure it in Kelvin, which is the measurement, the lighting scale. So if we say 56K, that means on the Kelvin scale, that's daylight.
So, by the way, who said that they thought this was pretty light?
You like this light? They said warm light.
Warm, okay.
I don't know if
So
it's pretty.
to me, it's very harsh, and it's not just the intensity, but it is, in fact, let's make some adjustments to this.
Yeah, and by intense, we're hitting Jared directly in the face, right, at this angle. But what we can note is look behind Jared. Behind Jared is a very strong shadow, right? That means a high level light is hitting our subject, and it's not diffused or anything. And so if Jared turns sideways, Jared, can you turn just a little bit? Okay, turn a little bit more this way. Okay, look at his nose shadow on his face now. He's casting shadows on his own face. We can see that our camera here is blown out, which means the white intensity is so high. So this would be not an ideal situation, maybe for a horror film or like Jared's on the surface of the sun or something. Or not even a horror film, it's too bright for a horror film, but he's being abducted by aliens maybe.
So let's start to think about improving this light. It's way too harsh. One of the things we want to do is cut down the intensity. And we're going to talk about different types of lights where we can actually dim them, but for these incandescent RE lights, you can't dim them. You can't change them the same way. So what I'm going to actually do is use scrims. They're like mesh that I will drop in front of the lights, and you'll see that it cuts down the intensity. And I think that these lights allow for up to 3 scrims. So you can tell that I have, I'm going to pin it back to Jared. You can see that it is not as intense as it was a minute ago. The other thing is these lights have built-in barn doors. And show the light for a second.
Show the light, Phil.
So we have these in front of the light. These are barn doors, which we can open or close. And so if I wanted to, I could cut down the light coming out by just adjusting the barn doors.
And you can shape the light that way. So you
Yeah.
can make it a slit if we wanted just light across somebody's eyes, like dramatically, that we'd use the barn doors.
So if you notice, if you go back to Jared, Jared already looks a lot better. It's still harsh, but better than it was before. So we can cut down the amount of light by using scrims. The other thing that we
So
want to
scrim,
do...
scrim is basically a metal grid that goes in front and will just cut down the volume. Keep that in mind. There's a lot of ways to adjust. Also, the biggest thing that we're going to tell you about this incandescent RE light is Grant and I are risking our fingerprints right now, because if you just come up and put your hand near this, these lights are hot. Whereas the other lights we work with don't get anywhere as close to hot as this. But this is like, if you put your finger on this, you should wear gloves when you're using a light like this. You would melt your fingertips off. Done it. So be careful. Or if you want to like get rid of your fingerprints so the government can't track you, touch this for a second. But like my hand right here is a significant heat. This close to the light is a significant heat. You can burn it. A lot of the lights up here above us as well are incandescent, and you can see the bulbs, our spotlights up here are way, 2K lights, I think, which mean they only get hotter. And the light bulbs up here, if your finger touches the bulb as you replace it above, the heat, the oils from your fingers, and the heat of the lamps will make them explode, because the oil expands on the glass and then the glass can't handle that and it explodes. So we've seen that happen a couple times.
Yeah, and the bulbs for these lights are incredibly expensive. Okay, so back on Jared. The other thing we will want to do is make it, if it's so harsh, what we'll want to use is a silk to soften the light. So now suddenly, wow, it looks so much better. And all I've done is put a silk in front of the light. So it is diffusing the light, and it can be a material like this. We also will have diffusion that we can attach to the barn doors. By the way, here's a term you need to know. You look like a newbie again. What is that?
That's a C47.
You're right. All right. So we can use C47s to attach diffusion to the barn doors, just like that. And now we have a softer look. I'm going to remove.
But essentially, you're putting something in front of the light to damper the light. And look, the diffusion makes it. Look at Jared's shadow compared to with or without, right? Sorry, Jared, I'm going to make it harsh again. But look, the shadow is hard there. We can see a very defined Jared-shaped shadow behind there. And then when we use the diffusion, you can see there's still a shadow because we're hitting with a lot of light, and maybe we need to light the background if we want to get rid of the shadow. But you can see it's a lot softer, it's more fuzzy, it's less obvious.
And we're using lights that are designed for filmmaking, which allow you to help shape it, help dim it. But sometimes you don't always have that. If you are using a lamp or whatever at home because you're on a budget, sometimes if you can't diffuse the light, sometimes what you'll want to do instead is actually bounce the light. So I will rotate this around, and then it's not.
It's not going to be close enough to
Yeah.
Jared. I can stand here.
Okay, now, yeah, so look at
So
Tim.
watching my face versus.
So we're getting a softer light because the light is now bouncing. Now the light's not coming directly at Tim, it's bouncing off this card and going at Tim. So,
That's a great way to do it. We'll do it on set is we'll bounce it off if we have a low white ceiling, you'll bounce it off. What you need to know about your bounce cards here, this is called a bounce card. It's basically a white card. And the reason we use white is because white reflects the white light onto the subject. If it was a different color, it would bounce. The light is so intense that it would bounce the level of light. If we shot this light at the green screen and you were close enough, it would bounce green light back at you.
So, the RE lights are for, well, to be honest with you, when I was in school, and probably even when Tim was in school, these were the workhorses. We had 1K, 2K, and even 4K lights with special generators that we used. And I mean, the 4Ks were massive, and we didn't actually use those so much. But we used the 2Ks a lot, and then the 1Ks were on every shoot. The problem is they're incredibly hot. When you strike, or we call it saving, when you save the light, they have to cool down for at least 5-10 minutes, sometimes more if they've been on for a long time, because the bulb becomes, when it's really hot, it becomes very fragile and it will pop. So you just have to let it sit there. Now it's occupying a C-stand, you don't really want to move it much. But anyways, this is a kind of a workhorse. We use the REs a lot, or we used to use them a lot. I'm going to switch to the Godox lights, which now are our workhorses, the lights that we use most often. You all need to know how to use the RE lights. So if you haven't set one of these up before, you need to get in a place where you can see them better, because you all will need to know how to set them up. Here's our Godox. This is the same intensity as the 1K. It's actually more, it can be more bright than we just had. It has a safety hood on it, so there's a release right here, and you can pop that off. If you swivel the arm down, it can slide on just like the RE could, so the Godox can fit on the C-stands quite easily. Then we're going to try to simulate the same look that we just got with the RE, so we're gonna put on the hood. This light has two different things. It has the power converter, which takes power from the Stinger. So, would you mind plugging this into that Stinger? And what you cannot do is plug this directly into the light. That'll blow up the light. So what you do is take the controller, and the controller hangs on the C-stand. The power plugs into the bottom of the controller and it hangs, and then there's another cable that goes from the controller up to the light itself, and you can see with all these cables you can extend it a long distance, so there are a lot of options. But then I control this light by using the controller here. So I'm not going to aim it right at the camera, I'll aim it at you guys. I'm going to hit power, and I'm going to say striking. So you can see just how intense this light is. This is only 68%. I'm going to torture you, that's 100%. By the way, what's different about this light, you guys probably are just being shined in the face, but what's different than with the RE lights? Yeah, these are daylight balanced. What does that mean? What's the Kelvin for this? We just said that 3200 was for the RE, so this is daylight. What did we say that was?
56?
56K. So this color of light matches the sunlight, matches the moonlight. So you're not competing or having to change the color with them. But what's so great about this is I don't need to worry about scrimming them down if it's too bright. I can dim it down. I can go from 100 down to, say, 2%. And now it's not killing our actors. Right? So that gives it, show them, so it, and I'm gonna take it up so you can see. I'm sorry for those of you who are, there's 1%, and now I'm gonna crank it up, and you can see just how much brighter it's getting. There's 100. So we have that hard light that we had with the RE, but now we'll make it much more manageable. There's 10%, but still, I don't like how hard the light is when we're setting it right at our talent. So we can put a silk in front of it, and now it's a softer look. There's something that we have at the Godoffs, which we will use almost every single time we use them. We will use a soft box. So it comes in a case like this. You all need to know how to
Hey Grant, I can't hear you.
specifically for on. And so you can do a combination of having inner silk for diffusion and then the grid on the outside.
What's the distinctive look there?
Here, let me show you.
Thank you, Grant.
So, Jason, can you help me with this? Saving.
Okay, Steven, you can hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Thank you.
So Tim and Grant, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why can't we just plug in the awesome looking light into the wall?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like an issue.
Why don't we what?
Why don't we
What?
plug the light into the wall? Just directly.
At the same time.
The one thing about the RE lights is that they take an enormous amount of power, and you can only have one of those lights plugged into a 15 amp circuit. If you have two, it'll trip the breaker. Yeah.
Trip the breaker. Yes, and you can plug these lights directly into your wall, but you have. This is why there's electricians on set, right? Like, the electricians need to know where we're gonna draw everything from. We're gonna rate all of the circuits. When I was in college and we were using REs, we had to know which circuits were which, because if we plugged two in, we were on at someone's house, we would power down the whole house basically. We would trip that. So, really, yeah, right? It's really easy to do. But it's something that you got to think about. So, fortunately here in the TV studio, we got stingers, we got surge protectors, we got everything to make it function as well as possible. But the REs draw a lot more power than what these the Godox or these LED.
So the dimmable LEDs can produce more light than the REs, but you can control them. They're dimmable. Also, because of the 3-pin,
Pack?
no, the 3-pin mounting system.
You mean the?
What do they call it again? The thing that the light. Hey, Jason, what's
softbox?
the 3-pin? What's the mounting bracket called?
You talking about space lights?
No, for these on
The softbox.
The bracket loop.
it's called
Oh, I'm blanking on it right now.
We're blanking right now, everybody.
Anyways, because of this, it's so easy to put on a softbox to have directional light. So
You can also change, because of the mounting bracket that we can't remember the name of right now, this is a softbox, right, that is adding light, but you can also get different shapes in one of these. You can do a globe, so you could hang something above that lights the room evenly going downwards.
someone tell me what as Tim put it.
What?
Owen's mount.
Yeah, Bowen's mount.
There you go.
Someone tell me
Hey,
what
Nick.
we call the globe as Tim just put it.
Pardon?
What? So instead of being directional, the light points down and it has a ball. And so, like a light fixture, it sends light evenly throughout a room. Anyone know what that?
What's it called, Andy?
We have the softbox, but what's the other one that we will sometimes use on the Godox? China ball. And it looks like it is a wire frame. But it's nice because we can put it in the middle of the room and it will evenly light the entire room. So we'll use the China ball when we need to see 360 degrees, for example. So anyways, this is our workhorse this semester. The college has 4 Godox lights. We're about to get 2 more. I have 8 of them, and so we will use the Godox a lot. You need to know how to set them up, take them down, including the softbox, and then when we have a opportunity, the China balls. So Any questions on these lights? Okay, we're gonna do something with these. We're gonna need to set up 2 more of them in a little bit. But until then, let's talk about some other, by the way, we talked about incandescent lights. What type of light is this?
What?
LED.
Yeah, dimmable LEDs. We have a lot of those. That's the in light on film sets now.
They're cool, like, you're not gonna burn your hand, even though they get slightly warm, you won't melt your skin.
Hey Grant, your screen is frozen and I can't hear you, at least on my end. Oh wait, now it's working. Okay.
So dimmable fluorescents were kind of the thing, but then now it's dimmable LEDs. These are the ones that we'll use most often, but we'll show you some other ones that we have. So, for example, when we film inside a car or whatever, and we cannot get them, we will use even these small lights. Jason, will you set up drag passes? These aperture lights right here are very, very small. They run on a battery, but they are not only dimmable, like I will show you. Here's the light. I can adjust the intensity of the light. As you can see, I can dim it all the way down. Oops.
You're changing the color temperature
Yeah,
too.
that was the thing I was going to say. Is
You can change
I
the,
can turn the intensity all the way down to 1%, so it doesn't produce much light, or I can turn it all the way up to 100. But I can also change the color. So right now I'm at 56K, which is the same as that light. So if I wanted to match light, so if you put the light, if we put this on.
why would I wanna match lights though, Grant? Like, why don't I use any type of light?
So if I, well, let me just show you. If you're filming Tim, so if you look at Tim's face right now, see how it's really bright on one side and dark on the other? I can add this in, and maybe I want it to be a little dimmer, I mean, not so bright. So I might turn this down to,
Oh, shit. Inception.
so there, I'm adding a little fill light,
Phil,
but it is,
It's a me light.
it's the same color, and it matches. But if I decided to do, not do 56, but if I wanted to do,
32?
okay, let's go all the way down to 32, it has a different look. It looks kind of orange. So ideally, now there are times when you want different color lights in there but quite often this makes it stand out and look kind of strange.
Yeah, make coloring harder,
Yeah.
you wanna use usually similar color lighting. Sometimes if you use, we haven't really talked about practical lighting yet though, Grant, but like a practical light bulb might be a different color temperature than the lights used on set. That might be in time you see it. And the different color temperature is gonna matter where you're filming. If it's fluorescent lights you have in the space, and you don't have your dimmable or adjustable lights, you're gonna work with what you have.
By the way, what's nice about these small little aperture lights is that they're magnetic, so I can put them on a C-stand, attach them to some place on the car, and they're easy to use in small areas.
It's great in the
Right.
car specifically. Why do you think these are great in the car? Headlights? No. No. When we're filming somebody driving a car, right?
Right.
And they're driving the car,
And driving.
and the person sitting next to them filming, where would the light be then? If it's a night shot, where would we have the light come from?
From like radio and like the
A
outside
radio or
backlight.
something from outside, right? But if we wanted to create that light, how would we use it? We'd use these little lights and like, we've put them up on the we put them on the dashboard so the light comes from that, or, yeah, think about where your light sources come from too when we're making movies.
Oh, you get the power switch so we can see? Where's the batteries? It's in that same case.
There's no batteries in there.
No, not batteries, can you just?
Yeah, there's a power.
So another light that we use, again, dimmable LEDs, are these. And like the apertures, they're battery powered, striking. So now I can have these, and they can all run to each other, so one controller can control all of them. You can have many different ones, and you can control the light. So this is the intensity's at 100, but I can change the,
John, what's this called though? What type of light is this? What do you think? Yeah. There's no wrong answers, just wrong answers. But you could there's no wrong guesses, just wrong answers. But if you had to guess what this type of light would be called? Huh?
LED.
It is an LED light, but what do we call this light? This shaped light.
Oh, like a lightsaber.
Ask her
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
What do you want her to say?
What? Do you know what it's called, Brianna?
Dude,
You've been on set long enough. We've used this on several things.
Whatever.
Elle should know. Elle, we use this on Honey.
I'm the fool, Tim.
What's it called?
Fluorescent.
no, it's not. It's a dimmable LED.
Oh,
It's an LED. Jeremiah?
that was so close.
Tube light.
Tube light. It's a tube. Look at this. That's what I was trying not to say. Is like this. But what's cool is it can change colors and even patterns. We like to use this to help simulate a TV show, like the glow of a TV show. So the moving light. Yes, Brianna.
Use it for Devil's Game, no?
We did?
Devil's
That's the
Game.
Fire or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fire. Yeah, on our fire promo, we use that to simulate fire. We've done this for fire.
They could be police lights or it's
For Honey,
flashing red.
for Honey in the Dream sequence, what else have we used it? We've used it for a lot of things. These are really awesome lights.
They have a thread so you can mount them. They also can be chained together so you can have
Yeah.
a bunch of them
We'll
hooked up
probably
together.
use this in Phil's club scene, right?
Yes. So anyways, we have a few different types of dimmable LEDs. I want to show you another one that we use quite a bit. This is a Dracast, and it's a panel, so I'm going to strike it. And what's nice about this is it is dimmable. So I can go from 100% down to 10%, so it's dimmable. But I also can go from incandescent 32 and then work my way up to 56K. And I can do it with 4 quick buttons, or there's a knob so I can scroll between them. So there's some color temperature changing, which is you're able to do. You're able to dim it, and you can get a lot of light. I've got, I think, like 25 of these, so we can use them to light up an area. What's also really nice is you can plug them in, but they also run on the Gold Mount Anton Bauer batteries. And one of my gold mount batteries can run this, you can leave it on indefinitely for like 5 days, because the LEDs don't draw much
A
power.
lot of power. Okay, who remembers if you're directly connected into the wall, direct power, what's that called? What type of power? Huh?
2 letters.
2 letters. Come on, Phil, you know the band.
DC?
DC?
The second part of that band.
Try the other guess.
AC. It's AC.
It's like direct connection or something. God
It's not direct connection.
AC.
AC, which means alternated current. So that is the current coming out of the wall into the light. And when you put a battery on your lights, that's called, if AC is to plug in, what do you think the battery is? Back in black? Huh? DC. That's DC, which means direct current.
These lights will take both V-mount and gold mount batteries, so,
It's how the batteries go on. So V mount has a V slide on, and gold mount has 3 gold pins. Do you have any of your batteries here, Grant?
I don't.
No, okay.
Here's the V-mount, so
So-
you can see that the clip is kind of V-shaped, and it clicks in like that, and you release it on the side.
Clicks in, and then V mount goes in and slides down. When we're on set next time, we'll show off the red battery is a gold mount battery. And it has these 3 gold pins on the back.
It's called Goldman.
Gold mount and V mount.
So there are a lot of other type of lights that we can show. I own an HMI. They're 2K, so you cannot plug it into any 15 amp circuit at a home. It will immediately trip the breaker. They come with a softbox, and they are incredibly hot. I remember when I was working with AJ one time, and the bulbs have hoods over them. Well, he forgot to flip up the hoods immediately, and the hoods were over the bulbs. It melted the steel in about 15 seconds. The steel was melted, because the bulbs, when they're on, are between 1200 and 2000 degrees.
It's melt your flesh.
Yeah.
This is totally, like the 650,
It's like 4 of those.
yeah, is nothing. Grant and I were safely touching it and knowing, because we have experience, but those ones, if you get in close, you're like, got no skin on your hands.
Yeah. So, but what's nice about them is they're indirect light. The ones I have they shine light into a hood that then bounces it out. So even though they're incredibly powerful, it's not a hard direct light. So we have those, we have, we have a lot of different types of lights that we will use this semester. These are our workhorses. The Dracast panels, we also have Dracast directional. So they're dimmable LEDs, but they are shaped like the Godox, in that they have a hood on them, they have barn doors, and yet they're dimmable, and the color can be changed. Jason loves them. We put them oftentimes as kind of small little things to accent things in the background. So
What's another way that I can control my light? Oh, the other light that we didn't talk about though is I called a practical light. Now, who knows what a practical light is? We have those. In fact, we very often shoot with one specific practical light in this classroom.
point at it.
Daniel
Somebody
knows.
point at it.
Yeah, Daniel, point at it. Daniel!
Practical light is any light within the set. So lamps, car headlights, someone's phone, if it's a dark scene. But if you're looking, see the light that's lighting up Tim, that's a practical. So lights that are shown. Now, if we're doing a scene, we don't want to see any of our studio lights or any of the film lights, but practicals are often used to create a look.
And speaking of look, that lamp right there, I found it at Goodwill for $10. Goodwill is going to be a great place, especially if you're looking for unique items for period piece stuff. we recommend if you go and find something cool too, we might be interested in it, right?
Yeah. I have a ton of other specialty lights too for moving and things like that. So if we have an opportunity, we'll use them. But you all need to know how to set up and take down a Godox and the softbox. You need to know how to set up the Dracast, and then probably the tube lights and the aperture minis.
And as far as putting it in, you should put it all together before you plug it in, so that you don't get shocked and it doesn't get shocked. We used to have, the Godoxes used to have the similar pins into the controller box, into the light, and we used to have students who would plug the power directly into the light and not plug it into the controller box. And what would that do to your lights, Grant?
I lost 2 of them that way.
Yeah.
And they were,
But-
back then they were like $1,200 each.
Yeah.
They are a little cheaper now.
So fortunately, they changed the pin situation, so I think it's a 4-pin up top and a 5-pin on the bottom. So you can't do that, but if you force the wrong pin in the wrong slot, you will break the pins and that can break the lights. So we're trying not to break our equipment and Grant's equipment especially. Whoa. How do we control the color? Like, what if I want my light to be a different color?
Yeah, so what is nice is, we quite often shoot in daylight balanced, so the 56K, but let's say we wanted to change the color. We wanted to make it a little more, I don't know, give us a color, Jared. Red. Red, okay. Well, so we can add red gels in front of the lights. So will you save this for a second?
Save in.
4, 0.
That was red. And it's obvious color.
Well, what, you guys trying to do mahogany?
Reddish brown.
Purple.
Cold.
Boysenberry.
Give me a couple C-47s.
Turquoise.
That one.
You broke them.
Oh,
Hand it to me.
that's great.
Somebody has to film yours.
Daniel, here you go.
Daniel.
Man, come if you want to look. Okay, so suddenly now we're making Caleb the devil. Can you strike the house lights?
All right, and striking.
So we're changing the look by changing the color. And infinite number colors of gel, we can put multiple layers of red, which makes it even more red than what we see. But it also, every time you shoot light through a gel, it also dims the light. So we might need to, I am now turning up the intensity. Now before I was at 30, now I'm at 60, but now we're changing the color. And so we can do a variety of things. You want to show something else?
What else we can do to control the light, Grant? Things we can put in front of the light is how we control our light with our lighting control kit, right?
Yeah, by the way, one of Jason's favorite toys that he always wants to use is, we don't have one here.
A cookie?
Yeah, it's called a cookie. I don't think we have one back there. A cookie actually is a board that has holes in it, and then, let's see if we don't have a cookie here. But essentially what it allows is it blocks some of the light and allows the light to go through other parts. So what it looks like is like light coming through a tree, moonlight coming through a tree, and so it's divided or separate. I'll bring a cookie for some things. We also sometimes might want to do things like, for example, I think that The red on Kayla looks good, but I think it makes Samantha look too red. So I might take a flag and block some of it so that I can control the light of part of it. So we'll use flags, which are just black felt, doesn't allow any light through. They have a hole so that they can go into the arm. Oh, this is kind of a simulated
Here we
cookie.
go, we got a fake cookie right here.
Wait, what happened?
What? Who's that? Oh, it's like, Jason is controlling it. Jason is using Bluetooth to control it.
No, Sriracha.
I don't think we can.
Yeah, probably with the spotlight it might work, but
If we simply took this down and the diffusion using.
see, it's like adding, you can see the texture. Like look up on the wall. Look on the wall. Up,
Behind
up,
you.
up.
You can see,
See this? Up
that's,
there?
hey,
Jason, come on.
Jason, what the fuck? Jason.
so anyways, that's kind of the effect.
That's a cookie, but it's actually the cookie, instead of this, is like the flag. It could be put into a C-stand, one of the knuckle bones. Hey, guys! Come on! Jeez.
I was looking right at the
I
light.
was too.
Same.
Strike the house lights.
In case this is what we see.
That's it. Well, yeah, we get the other one, this way
Are we gonna do this part, or?
We're gonna do the 3.9. Okay, cool, right. All right. There's a technique, a lighting technique that you all need to know how to do. It's called three-point lighting. There's 3 elements to make somebody look.
Audio's cutting out again.
But there are a lot of times after the showcase, so
Yeah.
you still want to get it done if you want to direct.
Yeah.
But there's no rush if you're wanting to do that. Okay, I'm going to strike it. Tony, you're going to be our subject?
Yep.
Okay. Can someone,
3 points lighting, what do you think 3 points mean? 3 points of light, great, yes. 3 light sources, essentially.
striking, can you? Okay, so you want to, yeah. Okay, so this is our, can you come more straight on Tony? So, this way. So if you look at Tony here, so there is a strong light on Tony, the right part of Tony's face. And then there should be a hard shadow on the other side. The thing though is we have 2 silks on this key light right now. So it is wrapping around his face a little bit, but
It is, but look how much shadow from Tony, no, you can't look at it. How much shadow his nose is casting on his face with this angle, right? So that, do we want it to be that dramatic of a shadow? No, So we would add some more light to complement. Where do you think we should put the next light? Over here?
Okay. So the first light, I already said it. What is that first light?
Yeah. If you had to guess, each three of these 3-point lightings have a different name. First light, no, it's a floodlight, but it's not.
Key?
It is the key light. The key light's going to be the strongest light. It's going to be the main source of light in the 3-point lighting. It is the key light.
Okay. We don't like how this looks, though. We're trying to make Tony look as pretty as possible, and so we're doing everything we can. So what can we do to make Tony look even better? He looks sinister to me. I feel like he could
Stop looking
Yeah,
down.
pull
go like
out
this,
a
though.
gun and
Go like
rob me on my way home today. How do we make him look less sinister?
You could try warmer lighting, maybe.
Say that again, Steven?
Warmer lighting, like increased lighting and like more warm.
Yeah, so color can have an effect, but right now we're using all the same colored lights. So it's
Okay.
not about color. That shadow on the left part of his face seems a little sketch. I mean, so to make your subject look as good as possible, we want to have what they call a fill light. The key light is on one side or the other, and it's stronger, it's more intense. On the opposite side, striking, we're going to have a fill light. And if I just struck this, it's automatically diffused. It's not as intense as
The key.
the key. This is at just 10%, or so there is still some shadow, but it's not as intense as the key. So if you can see that this, his face, it looks awfully even here.
Even.
We-
So if we evenly lit both sides of his face, what does that do? It means both sides have the same amount of light. Well, that might be good for some situations, but it doesn't give depth. If your subject's face, if one side is as lit as the other, you lose depth, you lose characterization in the face. So we do like to have the key be brighter and the fill be lighter, so that there still are some elements of shadow which then give contour and just stylistic look in his face. Look, Grant's already intensified it, and we can see that the key light's much brighter now, and we can see on the left-hand side of Tony's face, we got some shadows, even though it is pretty even.
If it's even, it becomes kind of flat, and you don't want the flat. It makes people look washed out.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's what you call them?
So when you have a subject that has a strong key and then a fill on the opposite side, they can look two-dimensional. And we all know Tony's personality, and that sounds about right, but
I mean, Phil is on the opposite side.
Oh my god.
That's cool, man.
It's gonna stick with me forever.
Yeah.
Just a tail. Everybody. I'm getting queen forever.
So he's just sitting in front of the camera, hey guys,
can you have me another arm?
I would say that filmmaking is
Can you have me another arm?
art and a science. It takes a lot
Sounds
of brain knowledge. Like, no, you have to have an electrician who knows the lighting pattern and
Yeah.
understand electricity. Well, I chose one more.
Yeah.
That one.
This one's steel, the other one is.
Good.
Cast aluminum. Okay, so tell it by what we're doing, what do you think the next light's going to be?
Hairlight.
Both are correct. It's two different terms for the same thing. But as far as three-point lighting is concerned, we call it a backlight. But what it does is it lights up the hairline and the shoulders of the subject. It gives them depth and perspective. And I want to go through these backwards. We're going to look at, so I'm going to strike or save the key light.
I'll say this.
And
Save me.
is the actual switch. So you can see what the backlight does. This, if you had just a backlight, you can imagine how this might seem a lot like a horror film, especially like the movement that it's getting in there
Yeah,
now.
this is like a swinging light bulb effect. Also, what's interesting is when all the lights are on, the backlight is really important because it helps separate your subject from the background. If we have a dark background, we don't use a backlight. It can just like make your subject look like a floating head in the background. If you do dark background, dark, someone's wearing a dark colored shirt.
So let's strike the fill light.
All right, fill light. Striking.
So let's zoom in on his face like you had it. So this seems kind of the opposite, maybe more exaggerated than the key light. And then when you add the backlight on top of it, it gives it a kind of distinctive look. So now when we have a combination of the backlight, the fill light, and striking the key light, this is supposed to be the ideal way to shoot your subject. So news broadcasts, model shoots, where you're trying to make your subjects look as good as possible, this is the technique you want to use, the three-point lighting. A stronger key light on one side or the other. On the opposite side, you have a less intense fill light, and then use a backlight to give the person definition.
This is literally on the final. Okay? Know the three names of the lights. Silas, what are they?
It's a key light, a fill light, and a hair light. Hair light.
Hair light or what?
I said hair light.
Or?
I said hairline light. Or.
What's the other name?
Well, honestly, I wasn't listening to whatever Daniel said. Hair light is the only thing I know.
Backlight. Backlight also. Because some people don't have hair, so.
It'd be a scalp light. Able to scalp light. Ball light.
Okay, we're now, unless you have questions, we're going to wrap, and you are going to then, if you want to, can play with the lights a little bit, but all of you are going to help put them away.
Yeah, we're gonna put them away. You can play with them. What I would really recommend all of you, if you haven't done this before, pick up a C-stand and try to put the three legs together. It is something, Grant did it in a second. I'm gonna tell you, if it's your first time doing it, it's gonna feel harder than it looks. And I'm all interested in seeing it. Don't you think, Grant?
Yeah.
A novice playing with the C-stand, that is a valuable tool to, then when you're on set, you can do the C-stand really easy there. I'll be like, oh, this person knows they belong here.
Okay, so now you're not allowed to sit. You got to stand up and
Let's strike the house lights, so please. And watch out for cables and everything. Help take the lights down.
I think we're good. So now we are done. So
Okay, Zoom, we're gonna end the recording, and if you have questions, throw it in the chat right now. Otherwise,